What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Have you guys ever seen the oil filter for a Cummins or even a PowerStep? What about you guys who own Duramaxes? Have you ever seen the PF63? I don't understand this. GM is definitely trying to save money on their trucks. So I have a product today that you guys gotta check out. It is something that you should 100% do if you want to bulletproof your truck. Let's take a look. All right, you guys ready to see this? This is a product you absolutely have to get, and it's not that expensive too, so. Oh wow, they did a good job boxing this up. You guys see that? PPE, yes sir. So this is what we want to see first. This is that big old filter. And there it is. They sent me two. Look at this guy. Oh my gosh. This thing is huge. Yeah. This thing is so big.
That's what she said.
That is wow. See, online, you can't really tell, but shoo, these things are huge. So this is pretty much the package that it comes in. And you guys see right there, hopefully. I'm gonna show you this to you online too, so just stay tuned. But yeah, what we're gonna do is, you guys know my boy at Truck Stuff, AKA Josh. He's going to help me do an oil change. And you know what? PPE said, hey, you wanna cut one open? I says, heck yeah. We're gonna cut this bad boy open. So we're gonna cut this one open and we're gonna see just how good this filter is. How much can this filter down to? You wanna guess? Is it 20 microns? Is it 15? I don't know. Let's go online and check real quick. I'm on PPEpower.com and here is the filter. This is for 2020 to 2025 GM products, okay? So if you have a Chevy GMC, you can use this filter. Now let's just say you don't necessarily want the big filter. They do still have a larger filter than stock available. Now this one's going to be a little bit cheaper for you too, and you can subscribe here. That way you can have these coming in as you need them. Now I'm pretty sure you guys saw that this filter was out of stock. They should have this back up in stock really soon, so just go ahead and get on the waiting list for that. Down here you guys will see 5 microns is what this can filter down to. That is pretty insane. And you guys see down here, PPE's upgraded filter provides 522 square inches of filtration area. That's a 100% increase over the OEM filter. The specially engineered ultrafine synthetic microfiber micropure XR media achieves a 5 micron nominal rating. An integrated high temperature rated neodymium magnet also allows the PPE filter to capture ferrous particles, preventing them from clogging the media, extending filter and oil life. The use of a heavy-duty coil spring ensures a secure seal between the media end cap and the base plate, eliminating dirty oil blow-by and maximizing filtration performance. So yes, it does filter really well, and it does use high-strength steel for the base. So this filter is overbuilt too. And something else that they added into this filter is the torque stop technology. So I know at some dealerships, if you're just running it through the lane and you decide you want to use this filter, they did build in technology that basically allows the filter not to be over tightened. I've had a few times where I've got my oil change with Josh and he could barely get the filter out without damaging it. So this is also something that's nice about this filter as well. Now I know what some of you guys are thinking. You're probably thinking, this is not that big of a deal, right? So let's just do a quick comparison. You guys make fun of my Ryobi lawnmower. Hey, let me tell you something. I am secure in my sexuality. I don't care what you say about me. You guys see my wife, she's hot, so there's that too. But look at that tiny filter. That thing is tiny. No man wants to hear that, right? But look at this. That thing, oh, this is not gonna fit. That's a problem. But you guys see how big this filter is, and I'm gonna take this out. So remember, truck stuff, we're gonna do a video. I'm gonna show you guys a comparison in another video. And by the way, you guys know I have a bypass on my truck too, but I have this simply because, you know, we want that oil to be clean. So let me just show you guys something real quickly. I went to the GMC store this past week simply because this was coming. And I had them pull a Duramax filter from 2019 and earlier pickups. So if you think that this is not that big of a deal, let's just do a quick test. Let's just see really quickly if this is a big deal. Now this is kind of dirty, so I may have to pause the video. But in here is an old filter. Oh yeah, this is dirty. So you guys see right here? I got this filter from the GMC store. They were literally changing the oil on an earlier Duramax. And this is what came out. So this is a PF 2232, okay? This filter is actually really big. This is a pretty big filter. Holy smokes. This thing is huge, guys. Like, this filter would be acceptable in my head because the one that's on the truck right now is tiny. Think about all the soot, everything that this thing has to catch, right? PPE has a solution. Now, you guys did see, right? This thing is not going to fit. So, PPE does have a solution that you have to take a look at. Let's check it out. So, in this box is a solution basically to get that oil filter to fit. And it's literally a relocate kit for it. And I'll show you exactly what this relocates here. So you're gonna, oh, and this is really nice stuff, by the way, too. It says PPE, has a, what looks to be a part number there. They also have extension lines or extensions for the coolant lines. That's what I meant to say. And then they have this harness extension as well. Also, they have these for the hoses. So the hose clamps go here. And now you can run the big boy filters like the Cummins and PowerStep guys. See, we're not the little guys anymore on the blocks on the Duramax side. See, I always help you out here. Throw me a bone sometimes. Now you probably saw it earlier, but let me just show you what we're gonna be relocating, okay? And unfortunately, I may have an issue because you guys saw my bypass. It was literally right there. So we have to relocate this. You guys see that? Let me zoom out so you can see better. Right here. So right there, all these lines have to be relocated, basically back some, so that way it's easier to get that PPE filter in. But we mounted my oil bypass here. So we're probably gonna have to move this back even more so that way this fits. Now I know that some of you guys are probably thinking, man, this is just overkill, right? And you're right, it is overkill, but here's what you have to understand. There was a time when the manufacturers raced to put out that they had the most dependable trucks on the market. I remember one of the manufacturers back in the day would actually tout that around, that they had the most trucks on the road, or their trucks are still on the road today from 20, 30 years ago. Like, they were happy to say that simply because that's what marketing was back then. Today, we like to talk about Apple CarPlay and all this other stuff. I actually did a video on that with GM, speaking of which. They're looking to get away from CarPlay and the 2028 model year. But that's not that big of a deal when it comes down to your engine. The PF63 is the exact same filter they use for gasoline engines. And here's a question for you. Do gasoline engines have the same issues that diesels have when it comes down to fuel dilution? Do they? I can almost guarantee you not. By the way, do gas engines create soot? No, they don't. See, I don't want to make this up, but it wouldn't shock me if
the oil cooler failures are linked to the PF63. It's very possible that if someone's going 7,500, 10,000 miles on their oil changes, that could be a failure because this filter is just not up to the task in my opinion. If you go to a Cummins, you look at the filter, you go to a Ford PowerStep, their filters are substantially bigger. And the next video that I do, I will have all of these filters side by side. We're gonna cut open this PPE filter on Josh's channel, Truck Stuff. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, I think that when it comes down to it, cutting costs is necessary. Manufacturers, they all have to make money. That's what it's all about. No one just works for free. And I don't expect a manufacturer to lose money. But give an alternative. Like, let us know the things you're trying to do to make these cars better. And that's why this filter is so important to me, because I do want to go 7,500 to 10,000 miles on my oil changes because, hey, it's less waste. I hate going 3,000, 4,000 miles on my oil changes. I think that's just a waste, especially with really good oil. So if I can go 10, 15,000 miles, then that's what I'm going to do with these filters. I have the oil bypass, I have this. I'm using a higher grade oil. So everything that I'm doing is to try to avoid all of this waste of just oil. Even with my Corvette, I like the idea of going 4,000 or 5,000 miles a year on that car, right? That's probably all I'm going to drive it in a year anyway, so filtration is always going to be very important. So I hope this was helpful. If you would like to purchase this, I do know, I'm going to tell you right now, their stock is low. That's what they told me. And this video was supposed to be done like 2 weeks ago, but they've just been selling these filters. I finally got mine in, and they sent me another one just so I could show you guys, you know, cutting it open. So hope you guys understand. I'm not trying to sell you something. I'm just saying, if you're someone like me, you're seeing prices continue to go up. You want to bulletproof your truck. You want the best line of defense. If you're driving your truck, if you're, you know, towing heavy, if you're, you know, going extended periods without changing your oil, you can have confidence in these products. PPE is a big company, and they actually have really good products. So be sure to check out their website, check out their filter. Let me know you guys' thoughts down below. Do you guys agree? Do you think that the PF63 is not up to the task? I think for a truck like this with a 6.6 liter diesel, they should have a bigger filter. You saw what they always had. And again, as I said, I will put all of these filters side by side so you can see them all together. I have a Cummins, I don't have a Ford filter, but I do have the PF63 on my truck, the one that you just saw from the older Duramax trucks, and then we'll have the PPE and the Cummins right there. That way you can have an idea of the size comparison. So be sure to subscribe to the channel. We'll get this thing installed, and be sure to check out Truck Stuff. See you guys soon.